What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. Today on the show, we're going to talk about some nostalgia-tinged comic book news, and that revolves around Power Rangers. Now, if you're my age, you probably, there's a good chance, grew up watching Power Rangers. You might have had the action figures, you might have acted it out on the playground, but a lot of kids that were my age were massive fans of Power Rangers, myself included. And you know, the current Power Ranger shows are obviously still aimed at children and still a children's property, but nostalgia is there in a big way for Power Rangers. And lots of adults are still huge Power Rangers fans, still, toy collectors. And, even me personally, I've watched seasons of Super Sentai shows, which is the Japanese long-running series that Power Rangers takes footage from to make their shows. So it's kind of like watching an alternate reality version of Power Rangers in subtitles with all Japanese actors. So, Power Rangers is still a thing that I'm very much interested in and very much a fan of, despite the fact that it's not necessarily aimed at me. And I'm sure lots of adults are the same way. Well, there is a Power Rangers property, at least, that is aimed at kind of a more adult audience, and that's the Power Rangers comic books. These were started in 2016 as a general reboot of Power Rangers in comic book form by Boom Studios, and they have a big event coming up, and this event is called Power Rangers Shattered Grid. And they just released a live-action trailer for their comic book event, which is a really fascinating, crazy thing to do. That's something that, like, Marvel and DC haven't ever really done, at least to my memory. And Boom Studios is doing it for Power Rangers. So this is a big deal. And this trailer stars Jason David Frank. You might know his name because he was Tommy Oliver. He was the original Green Ranger from Power Rangers. And if you go watch this trailer, there is some crazy stuff that's happening in it. First of all, Tommy is evil. He's sitting on an evil throne, and he's talking essentially about ruling and conquering the Power Rangers and about becoming a god. And, he raises up his arms and spaceships fly all over the place. It's wild, the stuff that happens. And Tommy Oliver in this trailer is Lord Draken. And what it actually is in the backstory, Lord Draken is kind of a Tommy Oliver from a different universe. So it's Tommy if he would have stayed evil. Obviously, when the Green Ranger first debuted in the Power Rangers television series, it was an evil Power Ranger. Rita Repulsa had kind of created her own Ranger. She had Tommy under her mind control, and that was her plan to combat the Rangers by having her own Power Ranger. Obviously, in the Power Ranger story that we know and love, he eventually overcame that kind of brainwashing and mind control and became a good guy and kind of was everyone's favorite. This alternate version is kind of a what-if version of Tommy where, he breaks out of her mind control, but he stays evil. He doesn't actually turn over to the good side. So this is something that's been brewing here in these Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comics for a long time. So this Shattered Grid storyline kicks off in full effect with issue 25 coming out Wednesday. But Lord Draken, this alternate reality Tommy, was introduced way back in like issue 11. So they've been kind of spreading the seeds here throughout for a really long time. And it seems like a really awesome series and leading up to a really awesome event. I'm really excited to dive in and check out this entire Shattered Grid storyline and just to check out what is actually going on here with Lord Draken. It definitely seems like something straight out of like Marvel Comics or, the Spider-Verse in Spider-Man. It's a really, really cool idea, like alternate reality Power Rangers coming to fight our versions of the Power Rangers. And they pulled out all the stops for this trailer as well, got Jason David Frank, clearly spent a lot of time and money on sets and on costumes. They even got Ron Wasserman, who is the musician that did the original Power Rangers music, to come back and do some original music for this trailer. And again, all for a comic book series. That is really, really cool. So this is all happening in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Boom Studios. There's also another monthly Power Rangers comic called Go-Go Power Rangers. That's a little bit newer, and this Shattered Grid storyline will weave its way between both series. So if you want to keep up with Shattered Grid, you're going to have to buy both of those titles. So I would suggest looking up a reading order or a checklist if this is something that you want to keep up with, so you make sure you don't miss an episode or an issue. That can get very confusing when it bounces back and forth between a couple series, and then knowing kind of what order to read them in and everything like that. So very excited. Lots of cool stuff it seems like is happening over in the world of Power Rangers comic books that I didn't even really know was a thing. And as a fan of Power Rangers, it's something that I am definitely going to check out. So that is Power Rangers Shattered Grid from Boom Studios, the first issue coming out this Wednesday, number 25. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me here on the show. Make sure that you like Pretty Dece on Facebook at facebook.com/PrettyDeceShow and follow me on Twitter at PrettyDeceShow. Of course, also subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find that by going to PrettyDeceShow.com/video. And make sure you tune back in tomorrow for another daily episode because you never want to miss any of the content.